Immigration issues in the USA are complex and multifaceted. Today, we'll take a closer look at some of the key challenges and policies shaping the immigration landscape. From financial support for refugees to deportation disparities and the economic impact of illegal immigration, we'll explore the various aspects that influence both immigrants and the broader society. Refugees who have fled conflicts involving the US, such as those from Iraq and Afghanistan, often receive financial support from the US government as part of their resettlement assistance. This support includes initial resettlement grants, housing assistance, and access to social services to help them integrate into American society. On the other hand, other immigrants, including those who enter the US through different channels, do not receive the same level of financial support and must navigate the immigration system without these benefits. Studies and reports indicate that Latina and Hispanic immigrants are often deported at higher rates compared to other groups. This disparity can be attributed to various factors, including immigration policies and enforcement practices. European and Asian immigrants tend to face lower deportation rates. This difference may be due to different immigration statuses, legal protections, and the nature of their entry into the country. Many employers take advantage of illegal immigrants by hiring them for low wages, which reduces labor costs and increases profit margins. Immigrants often face exploitation in housing, paying higher rents for poor living conditions due to their limited options and lack of legal protections. Despite the challenges, illegal immigrants contribute significantly to the economy by paying taxes, increasing consumer demand, and filling essential jobs. There is ongoing debate about the overall economic impact of illegal immigration, with some arguing that it benefits the economy by providing a flexible labor force, while others highlight the strain on public resources and services. Obtaining citizenship through marriage is not straightforward. It involves several steps and requirements that must be met. The American citizen spouse must demonstrate financial stability, which includes having a steady income and the ability to support the immigrant spouse. The American citizen must have no criminal record to sponsor their spouse for citizenship. The couple must be in a valid marital union, and the immigrant spouse must have been living with the U.S. citizen spouse for at least 3 years before applying for citizenship. The immigrant spouse must first obtain a green card or permanent residency and live in the U.S. for at least 3 years before applying for citizenship. Both spouses must demonstrate good moral character, which includes following laws and not having serious criminal offenses. The U-Visa is designed to provide legal status to victims of certain crimes who have suffered substantial physical or mental abuse and are helpful to law enforcement or government officials in the investigation or prosecution of criminal activity. To qualify for a U-Visa, the victim must have been a victim of a qualifying crime such as domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, or other serious offenses. The victim must also be willing to assist law enforcement in the investigation or prosecution of the crime. If granted, the U-Visa provides temporary immigration status, including work authorization and the possibility of lawful permanent resident status after 3 years of continuous presence in the United States. Qualifying family members of U-Visa holders may also receive derivative U-Visas, allowing them to stay in the United States with the primary visa holder. The application process involves submitting Form 1-918, Application for U Non-Immigrant Status, along with a certification from a law enforcement agency confirming the victim's cooperation in the investigation or prosecution of the crime. The asylum process in the United States involves several steps. An individual must be physically present in the United States and demonstrate a well-founded fear of persecution based on race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. The individual must file Form 1-589, Application for Asylum and for Withholding of Removal, within 1 year of their arrival in the United States. To qualify, the applicant must provide evidence of persecution or fear of persecution in their home country. This can include testimony, documents, and other relevant information. The percentage of asylum seekers who eventually become permanent residents or citizens in the United States varies. According to data, about 40% of asylum seekers who have their cases decided are granted asylum. Once granted asylum, they can apply for lawful permanent resident status, a green card, after 1 year of continuous presence in the United States. Over time, many asylees may pursue United States citizenship, but the exact percentage transitioning from asylum to citizenship isn't readily available. The United States government has spent a substantial amount on immigration support and deterrence. This includes funding for border security, immigration enforcement, and support services for immigrants. Despite the high expenditure, the results have been mixed. While some programs have been effective in managing immigration flows, others have faced criticism for inefficiency and lack of impact. The Congressional Budget Office reported that the increase in immigration from 2021 to 2026 has had a significant impact on federal revenues and spending. The surge in immigration is projected to lower deficits by $0.9 trillion over the 2024 to 2034 period due to increased tax revenues and economic activity. The House Budget Committee highlighted that the cost of the border crisis alone has reached $150.7 billion and continues to rise. This includes expenses related to border security, processing asylum claims, and providing humanitarian aid. A significant portion of the financial burden falls on state and local governments, which must balance their budgets by either raising taxes or cutting services. Immigration issues in the United States are complex and multifaceted, involving a range of economic, social, political, and humanitarian factors. Here's a detailed breakdown to highlight this complexity. The percentage of undocumented immigrants who become United States citizens or permanent residents is relatively low. While there isn't a straightforward statistic for this transition, it's important to note that undocumented immigrants face significant legal and procedural barriers to obtaining legal status. Some undocumented immigrants may adjust their status to become legal permanent residents if they meet specific criteria, such as having a qualifying family member who is a United States citizen or legal permanent resident. Those who qualify for asylum or refugee status can eventually apply for legal permanent resident status and later citizenship. Programs like DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, provide temporary relief from deportation and work authorization but do not offer a direct path to citizenship. Undocumented immigrants often face legal barriers, including the need to leave the United States to apply for a visa and the potential for long waiting periods. The process of obtaining legal status can be complex and costly, requiring legal assistance and extensive documentation. While there isn't a precise percentage, it's clear that the journey from undocumented status to citizenship or permanent residency is challenging and involves navigating a complex legal landscape. Immigrants fill essential roles in various sectors, such as agriculture, construction, and healthcare. While they contribute significantly to the economy, there are debates about their impact on wages and job availability for native-born workers. Immigrants, including undocumented ones, pay taxes contributing to federal, state, and local revenues. This includes income, sales, and property taxes. There's a cost associated with providing public services to immigrants, such as education, healthcare, and social services. Balancing these costs with the economic contributions of immigrants is a complex issue. Immigration enriches the cultural fabric of the nation, bringing diverse languages, traditions, and perspectives. However, it can also lead to social tensions and challenges in cultural integration. Effective integration of immigrants into communities involves language acquisition, education, employment, and social acceptance. Programs and policies to support integration are crucial but can be challenging to implement. The United States immigration system includes a complex set of laws and regulations governing entry, stay, and removal of immigrants. Navigating this system can be difficult for both immigrants and authorities. Ensuring border security and enforcing immigration laws require significant resources and pose challenges in balancing humanitarian considerations with security concerns. The United States provides asylum and refugee status to those fleeing persecution and conflict. Processing these applications involves assessing the credibility of claims and providing support to those granted protection. Addressing the status of millions of undocumented immigrants raises ethical and practical questions about their rights, contributions, and integration into society. Immigration is a highly polarized issue, with significant differences between political parties on how to address it. This polarization often leads to legislative gridlock and challenges in enacting comprehensive immigration reform. Public attitudes towards immigration are influenced by economic conditions, security concerns, and cultural perceptions. These attitudes shape policy decisions and political debates.